Hi guys! So if you've watched any of our other videos, you probably know that I love Twitter and I am like an expert at Twitter at this point, and I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to safely buy and sell tickets on Twitter. I have personal experience with this and I'm going to show you examples. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps so that you can get tickets on Twitter. This is a great way if, you didn't get a verified fan code or the show is sold out and there are no tickets except for $1,000 resale. This is another option for you to buy tickets if you go about it the right way. Let's get into how to buy and sell tickets on X, formerly Twitter. Okay, so we have our lovely screen recording over here. So let's go to Twitter. First, we're going to talk about buying tickets. So this is my personal Twitter because I, in fact, do not have experience buying and selling on with the band's Twitter. But first, we're going to go over how to send out an in search of tweet. For example, let's say you're looking for 2 Niall Horan tickets to his Nashville show next year. Well, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Nashville Niall Horan and see what comes up. What I'm seeing is a lot of updated count of Niall spotted in Nashville, and so I'm going to go to the top and type selling. Now we see that these tweets are people who are selling, and we're going to go over what handwritten tickets is in a little bit, so we're going to ignore that for now. But if you see at the bottom of these, you'll see these random words that relate to Niall Horan's Nashville show. These are what I like to call tags. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on this tweet and I'm going to hit copy. And I'm also going to pay attention to the hashtags. So a lot of the hashtags on here are hashtag the show live on tour 2024. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a tweet that says iOS or in search of 2, and then in parentheses 2, tickets to Niall Horan's Nashville show on June 3rd. And let's just say I'm looking for 2 lower bowl tickets. Looking for lower bowl face value, because come on, you always want a face value ticket, or as close as possible, PayPal G&S only. And we're going to talk about what PayPal G&S is. Then I'm going to go down here and remember those tags that we copied. We're going to paste them in here. So Niall Horan, Nashville, Nash, buying, selling, floor, GAC, lower bowl, upper bowl. I'm going to put Bridgestone Arena. Let's see, the show live on tour. And then I'm also going to add hashtag the show live on tour 2024. This is going to help your tweet move further up in the algorithm and more people will see your tweet, so that when people look under Niall Horan Nashville or Bridgestone Arena or whatever, then they'll see your tweet and they can DM you and be like, hey, I have these 2 tickets. That is the first step in buying a ticket on Twitter. You always want to send out an in search of tweet and make sure that you do it pretty far in advance, like once you decide you want to go. And also what I would do is quote tweet it a lot and just be like, please someone sell me these tickets, because then people will constantly see it on their timeline or their feed or whatever, and a lot of times people will help you out and retweet it. So once you see someone who is selling a ticket or someone DMs you, then the first step is, if you see someone selling, you could either reply under their tweet or just send them a DM. If they have their DMs open, they should have their DMs open, but if not, just say, hey, I'm interested, but I can't DM you. Or you can just say, like, hi, interested in your Niall Horan tickets. Obviously, it's different for everyone, but what you're gonna do is once they respond, they might respond and say, hey, it's this much. Or sometimes if they have experience with buying and selling, then they'll just automatically send you proof. But if not, what you're going to do is you're going to ask them to send you a screen recording And in this message, you're gonna ask them, hey, will you send me a screen recording from our DMs to the tickets in Ticketmaster? This is the best way and the easiest way to figure out if they actually have the ticket like they say they do, because you have to be aware that there are a lot of scammers out there. So after I asked them for a screen recording, this is what they sent me. So it's our DMs, and then they go straight to the Ticketmaster app and show me the ticket in their Ticketmaster. And then I was like, great, amazing, wonderful. That is pretty solid proof, because it's hard to fake that, and also it's hard to do that quickly. So then after that, I say, actually, this is for my friend, so is it cool if she pays you? This is her Twitter. I can add her to the DM if you want. And then I also asked them, could you do PayPal? And they said that is absolutely fine, and yes, they can do PayPal. The most important rule, if you take nothing from this video, please take this from it. Always use PayPal goods and services when you're buying and selling tickets on Twitter, because you can get your money back if you get scammed. Other services like Venmo and Cash App do not have the same policies that PayPal has, so you can submit proof of your scam. You can get all of your money back. So they said, it's cool, we can do PayPal goods and services, amazing. And then I asked them their PayPal, they send me their PayPal, and then I told them my friend's name, and then they said, who am I transferring the ticket to? And I gave them my friend's Ticketmaster, and then I asked them, could she pay you $75 now? And then after you send the ticket, can she pay the other half? And they said, absolutely no problem. So 2 things from this. Always make sure it is your Ticketmaster email that you give them, because if you give them another email, then it will not transfer correctly and it will just not go well. Then if you are kind of nervous or scared or whatever, it just depends on your like risk factor. So she asked if she could pay like half now and then half later after the ticket, because that way if she gets scammed, it's only half of the money that she's out of and not the full money. If you feel uncomfortable, that is also an option that a lot of people are willing to do. So I said, perfect, thank you. And then I said she went ahead and paid you the full amount. Sometimes I'll send them, especially if it's me that's purchasing them, I'll send them like a screenshot of where I sent the payment, just so they know that I sent it. And then we had an issue where they said that they had to transfer it with a phone number, which is no problem. So I gave them her phone number, and then they said she sent it. But then in this instance, the link wasn't working. So cancel the transfer and do it again, and said, if it still isn't working, let them know. And I said, she got it, thank you. So all was well. That was a successful ticket transfer. That is how you buy a Twitter ticket. Other things to note is, if you are sketched out by this, ask them to FaceTime. Most of the time, fans will be super open to FaceTiming or a phone call or something, or even like a Zoom if you don't feel comfortable giving out your number. But there are ways to make sure that you are getting tickets from a real person. Always make sure that they send you proof and are willing to do PayPal goods and services, and always use your Ticketmaster email when they ask you for the email to transfer. Moving on, let's talk about selling. So selling is basically the opposite of what I just went over, but I am going to walk you through how to sell a ticket on Twitter. I'm going to search Jonas Brothers in here because I was selling tickets for my friend. It's blocked out because of the watermark on here, because my Twitter username is on these. But when you are selling, you're going to send out a tweet that looks like this, similar to the one that we sent out when we were in search of tickets. So this says, selling 4 lower bowl tickets for the Jonas Brothers in Nashville on 10/9, $200 each, PayPal goods and services only. I say how many I'm selling, where the tickets are, what date it is, what city it is, how much they are, and that I'm only willing to do PayPal goods and services. So all of those points are hit in this tweet, which is what you want to hit in every single tweet. So all of that information is available to whoever wants to buy them. So then these are the tags that I used. So Joe Bros, Bridgestone Arena, October, LB, ISO, in search of, buying, selling, Tennessee, 5 albums, 1 night, Nick, Kevin, Joe, the tour. Just any kind of words that you can think of that will help you move further up in the algorithm, or it will show up when someone is searching for tickets. And then obviously, if you're gonna put a screenshot for proof, please watermark it. Please do not tweet out a random picture of a ticket without a watermark. Literally go to an Instagram story and act like you're gonna put it on your story. Type in your Twitter username and save it at the top. That's literally how I watermark all of my pictures. This way, someone, one, doesn't steal your picture and try and sell it as their own and scam other people, but also it shows that you really do have these tickets and took the time to put your watermark on them. After you send out this tweet that you're selling, you'll probably get 1,000,001 DMs. So, first step is to make sure that you have your DMs set to where anyone can DM you, or you can receive message requests. Depending on the artist, but if it's a really in-demand show, you might get a flood of DMs. And for that, I'm sorry, but it is a good problem to have because everyone wants to buy your ticket. I'm gonna show you an example now of me selling a ticket for Harry Styles' Chicago residency in October of 2022. I had an extra ticket and I sold it to this girl on Twitter. So I sent out a tweet. I made sure my DMs were open, and she DMs me and says, "Hi, are you still selling your 10/15 ticket?" And I said, "Hi, someone else is interested, and if that doesn't work out, I'll let you know." And then the original ticket sold. So then the next day, I ended up getting a different ticket. So I was selling my original one. I got like a better one. And so I DM'd her and I said, "Do you still need a ticket tomorrow? Because I have another one." And she said, "Yes, I need it." And I said, "Yeah, I still have it. I can send you a screen recording if you want." You know, I offered to send proof because I've been on the other side of it. And she said, "How much are you asking for it?" And yes, that would be amazing. And then I said 200, that's what I bought it for. And she said, "I can def do that." So then I sent her this. So it's from our DMs. And then I show her the ticket in Ticketmaster. And then for good measure, I go back to Twitter to our DMs. And then I said, "Are you cool with PayPal goods and services?" I usually just always ask them that, even if I'm selling, because I know that most people who are buying want to use PayPal goods and services. It also just protects the buyer and the seller. And then she said, "Yes, of course." And then she said, "What is your PayPal?" And so I gave her my PayPal, and then I said, "The goods and services fee is like $7 if you don't mind paying that." And she said, "Yes, of course." When you're using goods and services, there is a fee of 2.99%. And so usually when I'm selling a ticket, I ask the person who is buying it to pay that fee on top of whatever the ticket price is, so that I'm not losing money from the goods and services fees. So then she says that she can totally cover that. And then I ask her what her email is so that I can transfer her ticket. And then she sent me a screenshot of her PayPal payment because she wanted to make sure that it looked okay. And I said yes. And then she said sending now. So then she sent me a screenshot of where she paid me the money for it. And I said, "Slay, I just got it. I'm sending you the ticket right now." And then I updated her and said, "Okay, just send it. Let me know when you get it." And then she said, "I got it. Thank you so much." And that was the end of our transaction. So, a few things to note when you are selling. Please make sure that your tickets are not in your Apple Wallet before you go to transfer them, because then it could mess up with the transfer in Ticketmaster, whatever. It's technologies. And then also, like I said earlier, make sure that your DMs are set to where anyone can DM you. That way you're not getting 101 mentions of everyone asking you to turn your DMs on. I, like I said, usually put the price in my tweet where I tell everyone that I'm selling, but make sure that you are upfront about the price. And if you are willing to negotiate, please be sure to tell them that. or if you're not willing to negotiate, don't be afraid to say a price and negotiate with them, especially if it's a show that is in high demand. People will pay a lot of money to see their favorite artist, but also I am usually open to negotiation because I know how hard it is to be on the other side of things. Another thing, be sure that you are responding quickly, and this can be applied to buying and selling. But if you're selling, then you want to make sure you're being the first to respond to them, because they might have other people they're talking to about other tickets, and you obviously want to sell yours. So be sure to respond quickly and be near your phone when you are selling tickets, because they will most likely be talking to multiple people and they're gonna snatch the first ticket up that they get offered. Again, on the other side of that, a seller might be talking to multiple people who are interested in buying. So be sure that you are responding very quickly, because they're going to give it to the first person who offers them money. That's just point blank period. Please make sure it is done when you have time to sit and be on your phone. It's not going to work if you want to just like text someone and then put your phone down and go away for a few hours. Like, the ticket is going to be sold when you get back, or they're not going to be interested in buying it anymore. So that is how to buy a ticket on Twitter, and that is how to sell a ticket. And now I'm just going to go over some general tips and tricks. I'm going to show you some great ticket accounts on Twitter that I use all the time and that I have bought tickets from. And then we're also gonna go over how to spot a scammer. So first up is my favorite ticket Twitter account called Handwritten Tickets, and their at is just handwritten tix, so Tixs. And if you see here on their pinned tweet, they have informational guides for you. So they have a buyer guide and a general FAQ guide, and also some tips on how to avoid being scammed online. And then they also have seller requirements and ticket submission form. So basically this account is for people who are selling tickets. They can submit a Google form and they submit proof and how much they're selling and how many tickets and all of that. And then Handwritten Tickets does is they verify the ticket and make sure that people actually have the ticket. Basically, they will sell it for you. For example, this is a Louis Tomlinson ticket for his London show on November 17th. So Handwritten Tickets will always put whatever city, whatever artist, fans, comma. So London Louis Tomlinson fans at whoever is selling it is selling one floor standing. They'll always put what type of ticket it is, and then to the show on whatever date the show is on, and for 54 euros. And then this ticket also says that the PayPal fee is included in that price, which is great. So you don't have to add on the fee when you're buying. Here's a screenshot of the ticket, and then they always put a watermark on it so that someone won't steal it. And then this great thing that Handwritten Tickets does is, if you can see over here on the side, they have the receipt and the price breakdown of where they actually bought the ticket. So this is even further proof of how they bought it. So if you're ever sketched out, you can always ask someone to send you the receipt and the price breakdown of where they bought it, because if it is a Photoshop ticket, they will not have that. I have bought a bunch of tickets off of here. I have their notifications on, because one thing about this is that it is great, and it is a great resource and place for you to find tickets of all your favorite artists, because they do sell tickets for all types of artists. But if you are not the first person to DM whoever is selling, then you won't get that ticket. So you have to be super fast. As soon as the tweet is sent out, you have to DM the person who is selling, because they're gonna get a million DMs from everyone, and most of the time they're just gonna go with whoever the first person was that DM'd them. It's a great way to find like verified tickets and tickets that you know aren't scammers, but also you have to be really fast about it. If you don't know this about me, which if you've watched like literally any other YouTube video that we've ever done, you might know that I love Harry Styles. Clearly, I'm like wearing his merch. My other favorite account is at HS Ticket Help. So obviously they are not selling because Harry is not on tour, but the way that this account does is they'll put whatever day it is. So for example, this was on the night of the final show, so it says tonight and then the number of tickets, whatever like section or zone it is, and the price. So someone was actually giving these tickets away for free, which is actually pretty common on Twitter, especially the day of a show. So if you're like, oh, I can't afford it, or like it's too expensive, like sometimes if you just wait until like right before, someone will literally just give away a ticket. And then it says DM whatever if you're interested. And then at the bottom, it just has the tags. So if you are a Harry fan, this is a great account to find tickets to his shows, and usually they aren't outrageous prices because these ticket accounts put caps on the prices that you can sell them for. So that way they're not gonna sell a ticket for like $800 or something outrageous like that. And usually they make you sell for like face value or like a little bit over. As you can see, for example, on this tweet, it says the price was verified. And on like ticket accounts like handwritten tickets where they make you show them the receipt, then they're not gonna allow you to up the price that much from what you originally paid, which is nice. Then also they will tell you once the ticket is sold. The last thing we're going to talk about is how to spot a scammer. Under a lot of the in search of tweets, you will see that Twitter tells you that you can show additional replies, including those that might contain offensive content. So that means that Twitter has deemed this a scam and that you should be cautious of these people. So a lot of times the replies will be like, hey, my sis wants to sell her tickets. Also, you can contact her on Instagram or whatever. Never believe anyone that says to DM someone on Instagram. That is a scam, girl. That is not, do not do that. A lot of these accounts will be like so like random and weird. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like for example, this account only has 7 followers. Like that's sketchy. And then like, okay, you're like replying under a 5-sauce tweet, but like these are your retweets. Girl, clearly like you are not a 5-sauce stan. And then you also have accounts like this. Usually you can kind of tell if they're a scammer if they use like kind of like weird language. It's like different from like how a stan usually talks. So they said, hello, I came across your tweet about looking for Taylor Swift Eras Tour tickets for Nashville. And I said hi, because I usually accept every account because, you know, you just like sometimes you never know. If we go to this account and look on here, you can see their bio literally just says Swiftie with a heart. They're not following anyone and they only have 12 followers. Most of their tweets are retweets or like one where they're selling like tickets to like a random Seattle show. And then a lot of times their likes will be like just Harry or like just Taylor, or like it's really convenient their likes or retweets are about the artist that you're looking for. So all of that being said, if they're a scammer, usually they have little to no tweets. If they have tweets, it's only about them selling tickets, and also they only have retweets, and it's retweets of, oh, what a coincidence, the artist that you're looking for. And it's also like the major update accounts or like only the artist page that they've retweeted. Like clearly they're not on Stan Twitter, and they just retweeted a bunch of like Harry Styles stuff so that it looks like they're a Harry Styles fan. Also in their likes, if they have a bunch of likes that are different artists, but like a bunch of Harry Styles likes, and then a bunch of Taylor Swift likes, and then a bunch of Ariana Grande likes, clearly they're scamming different fandoms. You can tell when they like stuff in bulk, and it's gonna be like from pop culture accounts like Popcorn or like HL Daily or HS Daily, like the big update accounts, and the artist official accounts. Like they're not gonna like a random fan account that has like 2,000 followers. They're not gonna like their funny tweet that they saw on their timeline. You know what I mean? They're just trying to make it look like they're a fan of that one artist. Also, if they've joined within the last year, that's very sketchy. If they aren't following a lot of people, they aren't following the artist or they aren't following anyone at all. That is sketchy. If they only have like literally like 6 followers, if they don't have a bio, which a lot of the time scammers do not have bios. And if their profile picture for some reason is like a mirror photo or like where you can't like see their face, like I don't know, I've like just noticed in scammers, like clearly they like pulled this from like Pinterest. I don't know. I just feel like once you learn and you have experience with it, it's like really easy to spot a scammer. Make sure that you pay attention to all of those. Also, I would just ask for second opinions. Like, hey, what does your gut tell you about this person? Do you think they're a scammer? If they don't use stan language and their account is just not, it just feels off to you, and their account doesn't look like other fan accounts that you follow on Stan Twitter, then they are most likely a scammer. I don't want you to get scammed, and so you need to be aware that these people are out there and they do target specific fandoms in order to scam them out of money. But that is why you use PayPal Goods and Services always. That is all for buying and selling tickets on Twitter. I hope that you are safe when you do this and that you follow all of these tips and tricks and all the things that I showed you. Please comment below if you have any tips for anyone who is buying or selling tickets on Twitter. And I hope that you can find a face value pit ticket for your favorite artist. And I will see you in the next video. Good luck, soldier.